and welcome to Applied Machine Learning course. Now, you might have heard a lot of companies investing heavily into AI and machine learning, and you might have wondered why, or it might be the motivation why you might have chosen this course. Let me cover the reasons why companies are making these investments today. And these investments are broadly driven by three fundamental forces. The first force which I'll like to mention is the number of devices which are getting connected to internet and are emitting data on a regular basis. And if you think about it, what are these devices? These devices are your laptops, your smartwatches, your connected devices, so your connected refrigerator, your connected microphone. Each of these devices is capturing data and then sending it to cloud. And there would be 50 billion such devices by 2020. And over time, actually, each of these devices would start becoming smarter and smarter. So they would use technologies like machine learning on themselves and make better decisions. The second force which I would want to bring is the cost of storing of data. So we are not only generating more data through these devices, but the cost of storing this data has gone down significantly. So what used to cost us $1 million back in 1980s now costs just a few cents. In fact, I can store the entire music in this universe in under $500 today. The third force which I would want to mention at this point is the cost of computations. So we are generating more data, we can store that cheaply, and we can now run computations on them at a very, very low price. With the advent of cloud technology and the power that it provides to people like you and me, there is no limit to how much computation can you do at a very, very low cost. And these are the three forces which are driving machine learning as a technology. If you listen to some of the thought leaders in industry, people like Jeff Bezos or Sundar Pichai, you would also hear them say that we are still in phase one of AI and ML. So these technologies are just starting to change our lives, and over time, these will become more and more important. In fact, both of them actually believe that this is just the start of an era which would go on in the next 10 to 15 years. So if you have to take a decision about your career, this is one of the hottest domains right now. So let me bring out the kind of disruption these AI and ML technologies are making by covering a few recent examples and developments which have happened. The first example which I would want to quote is that of Amazon Go. So you might have heard Amazon coming out with this store concept called Amazon Go, where people can just walk in, take whatever they want from the store, and walk out. There are no checkout lines in this process. Now imagine the kind of change it does to the retail industry. Today, all the high margin products are actually kept on the checkout lines so that people make impulse decisions and buying at that point. Now, once that goes away, how would that change the retail industry? And that's what Amazon is doing with use of technologies like deep learning and image processing. The second example which I'll want to cover is that of an application created by Microsoft called Seeing AI. And this application is meant for people who have vision impairment. So a person with vision impairment can download this app on their phone. And what this app does is through the camera of your smartphone, it starts seeing the universe. And that's why it is called Seeing AI. So it watches the universe through this camera lens and tells in real time to this person in their ears what is in front of them. And if you think about it, the kind of impact it has on that person's life is just immense. A person who was not able to walk on their own can now walk by help of these technologies. And again, at the back end, they use machine learning, they use image processing, they use deep learning. The third example which I would want to cover was a recent development of a model called GPT-2 by OpenAI. So this model was so powerful that if you give it one sentence, it can narrate an entire story by itself. And it became so controversial that OpenAI decided not to release this model because it could create a lot of fake content out there. So irrespective of which field you are in, which domain you are in, these technologies would disrupt each of these domains and make a huge difference in the next 10 to 15 years. And that is why a lot of companies are making these investments today and making sure that they do not lose their competitive advantage because of these technologies. By end of this course, we'll not only teach you these underlying technologies, we'll cover the fundamentals, we'll cover all the material required for you to become a data scientist and use these technologies to solve business problems. Thank you.